Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Today, I'll be talking about something I think a lot of people encounter in regards to trying to progress themselves. We're talking tonight about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. Again, how to get where you want to be in life without quitting.
Okay.
What's going on here? TikTok just started. I ain't even did man.
Already.
TikTok. I ain't even putting nothing in there, like. And one of the biggest things, substance. One of the biggest things about it, you hear everybody start the new year off. They have different resolutions in regards to what I want to do differently. I want to lose weight. I want to go to school. I want to start a business, and they get started, right? Whatever it is,
right?
And somehow, some way, they get started, and some get them kind of off, with life.
Okay.
The kids, job, health, or whatever, and they never get back to it.
It never gets right again.
Never gets right again.
Okay.
And I want to just share with everybody. I have an open discussion with everybody in regards to how to, get where you want to be in life without quitting. Because far too often, people do that. Set these goals and stuff like that. And we did the whole show on goal setting and everything, how to actually set goals and how to reach and attain those goals, how to track them and everything like that. But what I want to talk about really and truly is to take it a step further. Is once you start going down that road of doing it, how to continue doing it without quitting.
Okay.
Because one of the biggest things still going back to when we start setting goals, and what we say all goals got to be two things. They got to be incrementable and attainable. So they got to be incremental, attainable. Incrementable being you can actually get to it over steps. Attainable being just a realistic goal, right? So we start talking about what we want to be in life. That's why we sit there and just throw out. Sometimes people just throw all kind of arbitrary stuff like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to start a business. I want to do this, that, and that. But the problem comes up is you threw something out that you never be able to reach. It's a reason why at your job they do performance reviews.
Okay.
It's a reason that they have certain things set in place and give you certain measurables that they want you to achieve and things that achieve and things you can't really do.
Okay.
You can't break so many of these. You can't lose so many of these. Those things are set up to, if you stay on this course, stay in these guidelines, you'll be able to reach our goals. That's how that's a lot of times with a job. The thinking is taken away from the actual employee. They just want you to, if you do these things,
you'll be good.
Okay. And if you can do more than that, great. But just don't do less than this. Right? Those things are laid out in front of you. And all thing you got to do is just follow suit and make it happen. Right. So that's what we want to talk about tonight in regards to that. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lamb.
What's going on, brother? It's another fine Thursday in the A. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Man, doing fantastic, man. Tax season kicked off on Monday, January 29th. Business is booming.
Wonderfully. Did it kick off wonderfully?
Yeah, it kicked off wonderfully. I'm tired as hell.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, man. Everything's going great. We had a fantastic January for Mr. Short Dollar. We're going to try to catch up with everything with Change the Lives. We crossed the 28,000 subscriber threshold.
I saw that.
For Mr. Short Dollar. Hey.
What's time to start? How to get where you want to be in life without quit.
And we was at 20-something thousand subscribers, I think, for the whole damn year.
Yeah,
like all 23. So the cross that, man, was big, and we're gonna keep treading water to get. We want to get it 30,000 soon enough, man.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good month. We did, did well, much better than we did in previous months. So we want to just keep the momentum going and everything. But I want to tell everybody I appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to try to do the same thing, but change the lives. But tax season started off pretty good, so good to go with that. Also want to say what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Reek? But 30,000 attainable, because you think about 2023, we started like 21.8. 2020. I mean, I'm not 21.8, like 25.8, 26,000.
I don't even know how many we had.
At the beginning of 2023, it was like 25.7, somewhere in there.
Well, was we hung at 27 for the long?
We hung at 26.5 for a while.
Yeah.
For half the year. And then it went to 27, and then we was at 27 for most of the year up until you just told us to 28.
Yeah, man, that was hard work. That was hard work, man. You know,
but that was 2,000 in a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, you know what? And I want to make light of it. I want to make light of it.
That's a monumental. Some people only get 2,000 after several years. So
absolutely, you're right, and I appreciate that, Larry.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You know, I had high expectations.
Yeah.
But you know, I know how to get myself back on my wagon as long as I got a good brother like you on my corner.
That's right.
But you know, tonight's show, man, one of the biggest things, I'm tell you what kind of even inspired me to talk about this show. One thing about it, guys. Again, it's Change the Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Feel free to leave your comments in the chat if you got any questions or anything like that in regards to the subject matter. But also call in 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. And feel free to join the conversation in regards to anything that you want to start off, but you keep getting setbacks or something to make you quit. Because again, that's what we're going to have the conversation about. You know, how to get where you want to be in life without quitting, because it happens so much. And people are always putting up, well, I'm doing it next week. I'm going to do it next year. When I get this, that, and that, you know, what we're going through right now, income tax season. When I get my refund. I mean, folks get a refund, but they got some $1 million plan for that $3,000 refund.
Right.
Shit. I'm gonna buy the ark. I'm gonna go to the moon.
I'm gonna buy a car, house, a boat.
I'm gonna go back to college. I mean, that damn $2,000-3,000 refund for do some things, lad.
It's called encouragement.
Yeah, wait till I get my income tax.
It's encouragement money. It's encouragement money.
But you know, with that said, people put off so much stuff. And what inspired this conversation, man, me and one of my sons having a conversation, right? And me and Peter was sitting there talking, and he was just he's graduating soon, right?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, from graduation. He's like, Dad, I really don't know what to do. We were just trying to map out some things from a career perspective, like what he could be doing and internships and stuff like that. And he said, Dad, I really don't know what I want to do. And which is not uncommon, you know, people have their majors and stuff. And what I was telling PJ was, you know, when you graduate from college, and we talked about this before, as far as, you know, even it was on Change the Lives, we did the video about, you know, how to get your child a job after they graduate from college. But like I told him, I said the harsh reality when you get out of college that a lot of young people don't think about, parents either, is that you have what you want to do, you have what's available.
Right.
And what's available dictates everything. And so what had me starting, you know, thinking about it, I was like, you got these different things that you want to aspire to do, you know, you got to understand, you're not coming out of college, you might have a degree, but you have no skill set, no training, no experiences to sit there and put you doing what you want to do.
Right.
Make sense?
Right.
So I said, Pete, you got to, what we're going to talk about tonight, you got to work backwards from the goal. And that's why I tell people all the time, you have a spot where you want to be, right? You can't just say, I want to be there. You got to do all the stuff to get there. Because, you know, we hear people say this all the time, Lab, and I told you it made me cringe when I hear people say it. They ask somebody, well, what do you want to do? And I do think the vast majority of people walking around here are not doing what they want to do. They're doing what they have to do. I do what I want to do.
I say 95% of people not doing what they want to do.
You hear people all the time, I hear these little smart ass fly comments. I know people speaking in love. Well, you sit there and smoke cigars and drink liquor and all this other bullshit.
Right.
But like, you know, like right now, shit, I'm putting in 20-hour days. So when
you don't have to work 40-hour weeks.
Yeah, there you go. So with that said, when you doing what you want to do, you've done predominantly what you didn't want to do to get there.
Right.
And I don't think people, they want the leisure. They want the be able to do certain things.
They want the finish line, but they don't want to run a race.
That's the BS.
Right.
Because, you know, like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. They were talking about, you know, like, do you think a kid, sometimes parents will push their kids to do certain sports and all this other kind of stuff. And I just know from 20-some years of coaching, most kids want to play in the game. They just don't want to practice. They cool. They can just come out there sad and
play the game.
Don't know anything about the plays, nothing about the concept, no kind of conditioning, nothing. They're cool.
Okay.
But practicing, getting everything, going through the rigors, getting prepared and all that kind of stuff, they don't want to do that.
That's the part that they don't like.
And that's most people.
Uh-huh.
They want to participate, but they don't want to put themselves in a position to actually be able to do it. And people just ain't honest with themselves. That's one of the toughest things I think as an adults, people, coming to the point from being mature enough to own what they did or didn't do. Right? Well, they didn't teach me. I didn't. There's always some shit. Just I messed up.
Right.
Nobody want to sit here and just be straight up. Or hey, this that happened because of the things that I didn't do. And that's a lot of folk. You know what I'm saying, like, and that's why I want to be having these kind of conversations because it's easy to say and say, well, the young people don't want it. I don't think most adults do that.
Right.
And it's easy for a lot of us to get caught in situations where we're talking about what we want to do, but we always kind of navigating in everything and not getting there. And we'll start on one thing, quit. Start another thing and quit. And I appreciate, like, we had the meeting of the week with all the different shows. We're kicking it like, look, man, everybody wants success, but like nobody want to do success BS.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like I'm saying now,
nobody wants to do stuff like what Pooch do to get his 28,000 subscribers.
And it did. Now listen, the thing about that, I don't think nobody was lazy.
Right.
I don't think nobody was lazy. I don't think none of them just didn't. I just think they didn't want to do the bullshit that will require you to be successful.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the thing about and when you talk to people, that's why sometimes get a little difficult because people get in their feelings. Like you'll say, like, hey man, you got to do more and do that. And the person get defensive and say, look, man, I'm doing this. I'm actually sacrificing. I'm putting blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah, but you got to do more. And you got to do different. Right. And that's what folks kind of like, get into now. I don't really know if I want to do it or not. But that's that fork in the road. Like, shit. If you want to keep
decision time,
you want to do this, we got to make those kind of things. I see a lot of times, just being self-employed. My rule, know me not right now. So at the end of the day, I live by that. So when people say, no, come to the tax man, hey, if I got to call you a couple times during the year, or do that, get a relationship going, you need your books redone. Hey, I just called you a couple months ago. You just want to touch base with you if I got to email you, whatever. Right. And, that's the way you got to sometimes be in business or with certain things. Success, like when you get to those dead ends, are you going to climb the wall, come back out, go another route, or you just like go back to the starting line? Look, man, I ain't got time for this. Right. And that's what most people do. Yeah. And that's why I want to have that conversation. Again, guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. I think most people get to that little pivot point.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I read through your notes before I ask a question. I don't see it here, so I'm gonna ask it. Do you think in this new microwave society, a lot of people give up on it or quit because they want it so fast? Like we said earlier, they see the finish line, they just don't want to run the race. And now all you see, social media, internets, all you see is the finish line. You don't really see the race being ran. And do you think that has an influence on how people be like, man, it looked like it only took so and so 2 months to get here?
Absolutely. And that's the reason most businesses are closing like hell soon to open up. Man, you go on, we go on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok or whatever, right? You're gonna see everybody. You see a restaurant or a bar, and everybody look at it like, damn, man, it look nice. Right. And you go to a restaurant, you can cook. Like, shit, man, I can get in here, I get my daughter, my nephew, they can take the orders and all this other kind of stuff. You got no kind of concepts of managing operations, advertising, don't know anything about costing, don't know anything about food storage, waste, none of these kind of concepts. But you know how to you got your vision in regards to how you want to look. You got to look in all kind of nice, the ambiance is awesome and all this kind of stuff. But your operations is you got people waiting 2 or 3 hours for their food. When they get the food damn cold. You got people that ain't even trained how to take orders and make folks feel comfortable and all this other kind of stuff. They lose. You got, the establishment we went to, at Shane Barty. We sit there, you think about like the service and all that with the drinks, all this kind of stuff like you said, they're like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, like those kind of things.
We went to a place where cut you out. We went to a place where when we did the Queens showcase, where not only was the service rude and mean, but the owner was too. So it trickled down from the top.
Yeah, and think about it. A lot of times, when people are full, they're comfortable. You might got a good night. See, sometimes, especially one of the worst things you can do is have an early success. And I think what happened with a lot of businesses back in 2021, when all that pandemic money was coming in, because they had money in their pocket, everybody's smart. Everybody's an entrepreneur. Everybody's, doing all this kind of stuff. And then when that damn money gone, everybody out here there Uber eating and their Instacart and stuff like that because they try to stay afloat. I'm not picking at nobody, but sometimes when you look at certain things, you think it's easy because you got money in your pocket, or it's easy because you hungry. I mean, you full and you're not hungry. You think you got it. When people doing stuff right, it look a whole lot easier than what it is, right? And so that's one of the biggest things. The past 3 or 4 months, we've been trying to train people for tax season and stuff. Everybody want to go out and do their own thing, and a lot of people find out right now, hey man, I bought all this damn software. I can't even get nobody.
Right.
They posting like hell.
Right.
Come see us. Come see us. Come see us. Anybody gonna come see you?
Right. Because there's too many people too many people that want me to come see them.
Well, not even that though, lad. But just who wants to give you their personal information? Right. Like, I mean, that just start with that. Right. You my partner, but you don't even know how much I make.
Right.
You don't even know what my what my old lady make, and I gotta share some stuff with you. So you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Those kind of things are prohibited. They still your friend.
Right.
They still care about you and they'll be happy for your success. But now everybody kind of see it like, man, these folks can make all kind of money. Everybody want to sell cakes. Everybody want to sell shirts because it looks easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I smoke cigars, but want to get a cigar spot. Don't know anything about inventory, marketing, and everything like that and stuff that I seen. Like, damn, man, I got to pay $3,000 a month rent.
Right.
Yeah. I'm selling cigars for $20. Yeah, it cost me $15. They ain't making $5. God, dog, I gotta make all this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you go in the cigar spot, cat sitting in the cigar lounge, 2 hours. He ain't spent about 1 stick,
and he ain't bought no drinks.
If you got drinks to sell,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So all this kind of stuff, people not looking at it like that.
Right.
What I always say, never get traffic confused with profits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can be busy a lot. But busy don't mean I'm making money. You know what I'm saying? I'm just running around in one place. and far too often people get that confused because they see the restaurant with the line wrapped around the corner. Like, man, they doing good. But you have no idea their margins. Right. No idea that. And man, I've seen it all the time.
You don't know how much they spending to get that one customer to come in. Their customer acquisition is off the chain.
Well, me and Will B were talking the other day. And I was just talking with him about business. I always tell them the first thing we always look at first as entrepreneur, we look at cost. You're a true entrepreneur. The first thing hit your eyes is cost. Right. And that being you looking at, okay, what would it cost me to make $1 in that business? For me to start a business, so that's what true entrepreneurs look at. Like if I were to do this, I want to start the paint company, I want to start the landscaping, I want to start this restaurant. What is it gonna cost me to do it? Right. And then when I get the number that costs, can I make enough money to cover costs? And then coincidentally put some money in my pocket. And if you don't feel comfortable that you can do that, that's probably a good idea for you. The same concept an investor gonna look at too. Right. Because what we talked about, people come to you all the time. Hey man, I got this investment, this deal for you. Got an investment idea. You don't want an investor, and they'll say, okay, I just need to make. Can I borrow X amount of dollars from you? And if you do that, I'll be able to make this money. But the key ingredient they missing is what the hell you gonna bring me back? Right. Well, I bring you back the money I gave you. Right. Oh, hell no.
Investment means
what they do that in?
That means I need a ROI.
Yeah. Well, but far too often people miss the boat on that, lad. And that's why I want to, have that conversation tonight. Guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Again, we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. Somebody
La China.
Uh-huh.
I mess her name up
just like China.
China. I'm so sorry. I mess her name up every time. And I don't be doing it on purpose. I don't be trying to be funny.
Just like China.
She said that you can't confuse motion with motion. You can't confuse motion with progress.
Yeah.
A rocking horse. Oh, I'm sorry. A rocking horse, but it's not making progress. A horse rocking is not making progress.
Yeah, and see, one appreciate it, China. One of the biggest things though, lad, when you go to place, you're like, man, the place is boom, they doing good. But the average person not accustomed to dealing with cost and pricing and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say you can get sometimes traffic and confused with profits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're making money.
Right.
And typically when you see, we got a lot of time with businesses and the owner, well, I can't say, sometimes about to say that usually be the cat now looking a little stressed trying to get people to move around. But hell, I've been a couple places where usually early,
mm-hmm.
if it's the owner that don't really care, he out there just partying and just, bojangling with everybody out there.
Right.
But then some of them, they serious, they might be stressed from the beginning.
Right.
But then when they start getting tight, then we see the owner kind of cracking that whip.
Trying to tighten everything up. But too late now, you play games with them. They don't take it serious.
Yeah, the ship's sinking in.
Right.
But it's tough, man. It's tough. But one of the things I want to, that's why we want to have a conversation tonight in regards to how to, get where you want to be. Remember, the key thing is working backwards from the goal. And working back from the goal can be a helpful strategy, to create a structured plan and make the overall task seem more manageable. And we're going to do is a couple steps that can help you in regard to that process. Again, we're talking about working backwards from the goal.
Uh-huh.
You see where you want to be.
Uh-huh.
And then you see where you want to be and keeping in mind what you need to do. Because like to that point, that the example I'll give with PJ,
mm-hmm.
you say, hey, I want to do this, maybe get into marketing and all this other kind of stuff, or this is what I want to do. Well, what does that person do? What is the background? What is the experience that person have to get to that position?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then let's kind of look at some of the things that you probably need to do to get in that position
mm-hmm.
from an experience standpoint, just like the qualifications. And I think a lot of times, what's Slick say, lie? What's Slick say, lie?
Oh, she was talking to the person.
Oh, okay. So right now,
Lyman.
I got you.
Lion and Mike.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's who she's trying to speak to.
I got you. I ain't saying no BS yet.
No, she ain't talking about you.
but you're thinking though, what do I need to do to get that particular step?
Uh-huh.
And I think that's where a lot of people have to sit there and say to themselves, if I want to have this club, not just have a club, but have a successful club,
mm-hmm.
what do they do? What do they have in place? Do they have good marketing? Do they have good advertising?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have radio ads? Do they have social media? We're just speaking. Some do, some don't.
Right.
Do they already have connection with certain artists or managers or promoters?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have, a theme? Is it kind of like the style now to have certain colors and lights and all
mm-hmm.
this stuff? Is it certain thing about drinks?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, more things to have with women? If we got to have that, what do we got to do to kind of get out? Do we got to have a whole game plan to go to the schools, the hair colleges? I'm just saying, like, you have this destination
mm-hmm.
where you want to be. What are the tasks and steps we have to take to get to that point?
Right. Okay.
That's what got to happen.
Okay.
And like I said, that could be your career, that could be your weight loss, that could be your, you getting everything together. You want to get your house or whatever. Those kind of things have to be set in place. So we're talking about working backwards from the goal.
Mm-hmm.
We know the destination, right?
Okay.
We know we want to be, right?
Right.
But not just saying I want to have this business. I want to have a thriving business, right? Because hey, you can go get you want the damn business, you can go down and get your LLC and all this other shit, right?
And you in business.
Hey, tax ID number, you good to go, right?
Right.
But we talking something that's sustainable. What do they look like? What
mm-hmm.
do they have, right? And that's what we kind of getting in our, thing. We know what our vision, what we want to have, but we got to be realistic about what do people want.
Uh-huh.
And if it's even something a little different, what is needed from that? And we working backwards, making sure that we putting things in place, right? Mm-hmm. You see the destination. And again, we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people start from the back going forward to get to their destination. And as they get hurdles and shit like that, it's like they find something new.
Okay.
To get to it. But if you got the destination and then you start looking at all the different stops you got to go, because I'm trying to get to California. I know if I go to California, I got to go through boom, 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 start here.
Right.
So I already know if I got to go, 20, if I got to, hop off one of them bypass or whatever and stuff like that. I know that. But I'm not trying to figure it out, going forward, right?
Right.
That's what I think people have to sit there and say to themselves about it. Because once you know that, it's hard to quit when you already got everything in front of you.
We already know the next step, your next move.
Exactly. And it helps mitigate the impact that things are going to have on you because you're already kind of prepping for certain things, right? We already know if we're moving backwards, we know all the pitfalls and different things that can set you back, right? We know what can happen. We know, sometimes when we talk, perfect example with you by the trucking industry, how it's not if something going to happen, it's when something going to happen. And having those things in place, extra equipment, certain other kind of insurance policy, lines of credit, things like that, to help mitigate the impact of certain things happening with you because they are going to happen, right? And that's what I want people to kind of be looking at in regards to working back in front of goal, right? Guys, feel free. I know everybody got some little thing they want to add to it, with it and stuff. China on the one that Yaira, you might need to get some of the damn scotch. Lab need to get some of the scotch. But again, tonight's show we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. And again, I was encourage everybody to call in. They got any questions, 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. And to start off, just going through the steps of working back from the goal, the first thing you need to do is define your goal clearly, right? You can start by clearly defining your goal. Make sure it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You kind of like the SMART method, that being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Remember what I said, guys. The goals always got to be two things. They got to be attainable, meaning it's realistic. And the other thing, it got to be incremental, that you can build towards it, right? You can build towards doing it. The second thing is, guys, you got to break down the goal. Break down your goal into smaller, more manageable tasks, like we said, make it incremental and milestone. These should be the steps of achievement that will lead you to your ultimate goal, guys. Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Remember, guys, shooting from hip is very dangerous. Put everything on paper. Put everything on paper. When you go to work,
right,
you got your job, they give you SOP. They give you any kind of manual, sit here and go through everything and stuff like that. You got to get somebody that may walk through stuff with you, but they'll tell you to take notes, or they give you that big old fat manual. You need to have stuff wrote down. Well, we got Savvy Publicity PR. Savvy Publicity PR says, quitting may not indicate failure. Perhaps reevaluating business goals might lead to shifting the finish line. That's a great point. Again, she was saying that they're saying that quitting may not indicate failure. Perhaps reevaluating business goals might lead to shifting the finish line. And that's what it's about planning.
Okay.
Like I say, that's the key thing when we start write down plans. Remember I said goals are not written down, it's just a dream. You write it down, now you got a plan.
Right.
So like you said, when things happen, to that point, it's not necessarily a failure. You just got to make an adjustment. Right. So those kind of things you have to do it. You when we talk about breaking down these goals, look at just putting things on paper. People
got goals all the time for this stuff.
Look at Lab got all this, got his notes rolled down and stuff like that. I did it. I don't know if anybody's seen the video I did. I shared my mottos and my what's my damn motto for 2024? Focus. I thought it was focus, recover, focus. What's the goal for this year? Damn, I can't even remember.
I saw the video and I did not attain it, but I saw it. We're gonna say hey to Mama while we're thinking about it.
What's going on, Mom?
Hey, Mom.
I think focus reorg or something like that. Because the thing of it was I had focus exceed for last year. But now it was like this year, because I didn't reach everything I wanted. I wanted to just focus, but also kind of get back on my horse in regards to getting certain things together as my motto. But I also did a video about my goals in regards to 2024 goals. And then I got the monthly goals. So I do everything on a monthly basis. The summation of all those over 12-year period, 12-month period should equal those. So that's why I say write them down. Put them in your face. Make yourself uncomfortable. Because everybody like to talk. Everybody like to talk. Everybody gonna say
talk,
but we don't like to be uncomfortable. Because man, hey, put your thoughts, you gotta roll down if you're supposed to do that. And it's in my face every day. Like I gotta see it, right?
Right.
Training Cole said it was discipline. That's it. Focus, discipline. There you go. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Training Cole. 24 model, focus, discipline. And that's just like I said, to keep me back on course. Because again, my thing was focus exceed last year. But now because I didn't get it, now I gotta be focused. And thanks, I appreciate that.
Okay.
So just knowing those kind of things, they in your face.
Uh-huh.
All right, Pooch, you saying all this shit, but hey, that's and it make you feel some type of way. No matter how big your ego, how you feel about yourself, and things like that. Them words do something to you when you ain't kind of going on to the right pathway.
Or you're not accomplishing that goal. I know for me personally, when I write stuff down, and I got 3 of these books. When I write stuff down about this podcast and stuff, and I write down certain things, I like to scratch them out when I'm done them. But when I haven't done them, I gotta always go back and say, "Dang, I didn't get that done.
Yeah,
I didn't get that one done." You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that, and it may be the end of the year. And I'm like, "Dang, I didn't finish that with this." You know what I'm saying? So I get exactly what you're saying because I love to scratch it out.
Yeah,
I'm done with that one. I'm done with that one. But then when it's that 1 or 2 or 3 that I don't get done, I make me feel some type of way. So you're exactly right.
We all want to do things in life.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to do things in life. We all want to kind of feel like we're making accomplishments and doing, going on a certain path. But the unfortunate part, we want to do it at the way we want to do it.
Our own pace.
And everything is not going to be able to be done how you want to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your weight loss, your career journey, your business, things and stuff like that. Some shit you got to burn the midnight oil. Sometimes you might have to make sacrifices that may be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Might got to miss a kid's game. Might can't make an event. Might got to put off some stuff you want to do. You
sleep 2 hours one night.
There you go. Or spend some money on some things that that you can do things from a leisure standpoint can do. But that's when you decide you really want something.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, like, when I left my job, it took me 2 years of grinding and paying stuff off and doing that kind of stuff. Those kind of things will make you really question, like, is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say, once I did it, I got a level of courage that I was like, shit, I can do anything.
Right.
And then hell, I went through that damn divorce. I knew I could.
You knew you could do
anything. I was brave Smurf. When I left my job, when I got done with that divorce, I became Papa Smurf. Shit. Are we there yet? Yeah, shit. I was ready then, man. But those kind of things, those uncomfortable things in life, that's what actually put you on the course to be able to handle a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying, Leia? And I just think that those are the things we talk about. Like, man, my money, this, that, my money funny. Man, my old lady was tripping.
Right.
Or then, sometimes people feel like they didn't get enough encouragement from the spouse, family, or friends and stuff like that. Ain't got shit to do with them.
Right.
Man, I'm telling you, Leia, I got everybody that I know. I never really got hate with doing anything I do. We were doing it. But my perception of the support that I should have got didn't align with what I was getting.
Right.
It'd have felt better, if I got some you go boys, you got, but I didn't get that. But I never got really hate. But in the process of all that, it also showed me, like, how much your ass really want to get the hell on.
You got to
how much really
yourself.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I found some things out just, hell, being married. Hell, once I did that and I ain't get that kind of support, like, shit, I don't necessarily need your ass. Shit, I can do all this without your ass. Hell, what the hell I need you for?
I can do all of it with you.
Shit. Hey, I'm dead ass serious about that. That's a whole nother show. I tell people all the time, don't let your damn spouse, feel at any time that they don't need your ass. Theoretically, they don't need you.
Right.
But when they really, really know that they don't need you, and they
it's something different.
Hey, it's something different.
Right.
Because you know you can work without your wife.
Right.
You know you can. But when you make an accomplishment, you're like, shit, I just did. The hell I got you for? Yeah, hey, I'm dead at it. That's a whole nother show, but hey, that's bad. Hey, man, oh man, shit, set me on a whole different pathway. Again, tonight's show, we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. Again, how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. If you got anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. Sexy Redbone say you a whole different beast.
Right.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Whatever. That stuff throw me off. Again, we're going through like a little timeline of different tasks you got to take that you can take to help you. Again, theoretically, we're talking the whole process of working backwards from the goal. Like you see the goal, the destination where you want to be at. What do you need to do in regards to the steps of make sure those things happen without quitting? Because it's easy to get sidetracked, right? We put stuff in the mix a lot of times, and that identify dependencies, determine the dependencies between tasks. Some tasks may need to be completed before others can start. Understand these dependencies is crucial for effective planning. Anything that you like, step 2 got to be done after step 1.
Okay.
You can't do step 3 before you get step 2. Some things you might can skip over, come back to later. But if it's one of those consecutive things, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like sometimes just we're building your house. You got to get, I'm just throwing aside that maybe the plumbing first, then the electrical, and then, then you may get, some of the other stuff, the sheetrock laid out. That got to be done that way because code may say design it, plumbing, electrical, sheetrock. They're going to come out and inspect it. You can't go from plumbing to sheetrock. Right. And then come back later and do something else.
Yeah.
So you got to identify those dependent things. Now, I think that's very, very, very important when we start looking at we're doing certain things. You can say, well, look, these are the steps to get there. Can I miss some of these things? Somebody got saying something later.
LaChana says, strangers will support you quicker than family and friends. So build your business to appeal to the general public. Stop trying to impress your friends.
We talk about that a lot. That's a good point. Thanks, China. I appreciate it. We talk about it a lot. Sometimes we'll look at certain things in regards to worrying about, social media presence, getting likes and stuff like that. I do think it's very important, to feel good about getting support from people. But I do think it's very important also to recognize what people can do for you.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, to the point of, just, dealing to the general public and stuff like that, knowing who really wants your product or services. You get the phone call sometimes, the people call, say, hey, listen, this is such and such from this advertising company. You want to support, run an ad on our particular show, or we got calendars or whatever. You can market and advertise. People approach, say you got a business. If you want to join this directory, you can pay this, they'll give you free advertising. The issue come up is when we start talking about those differences of marketing and advertising, that channel may not be the best for me.
Right.
I know the stuff you selling, this little magazine, the people that buy from me, they don't read that. Right. The people that buy from me, they may not listen to the radio. The people that buy from me or my product or service may not listen. They might not be on YouTube. Right. They may not be on Instagram, or they may, or you have to know the person that wants to buy your product or service, where they located at, right?
Okay, right.
And then from that point, then I can facilitate to that channel, right? Be it TV, cable, internet, radio, whatever. You know the person. You just can't sit here and just throw something out there and just think people are gonna jump on it. Right. You dig what I'm saying? Some of it may be LinkedIn, some of it may be word of mouth, some of it maybe you got to go to different events to go out there and meet people. Some of you got to go out there. Hey, but you have to spend time to recognize who your end product user
and target market is.
Exactly. And where do they go look? Where do they look? Your niche market, where are they at? And then where do they look to get there? How do I catch their attention? And I think that's far too often. We talk about all the time, lad. You just like you're shooting a bow and arrow at the forest. You target somewhere in one of them trees, but you just shooting up the bow at the woods, and hopefully you hit something.
I think a lot of times when it comes to business, we have to focus on that everybody is our customer. You get what I'm saying? We figure that everybody is our customer. We don't really want to say that this is a niche market. What I'm doing is a niche thing. I need to look for those niche those niche customers. We always think globally, which I think most people who own companies try to think globally in the aspect of everybody's a potential customer. Everybody might not be my customer now, but they could be a potential customer later. So I think that's why you have the thing where a lot of companies shoot arrows in the forest. they might not hit their customer, but they may hit a customer that might be theirs. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that's a good focus. That's probably not a good focus because you might waste more money and spend more product shooting those blank arrows out than you would if you just focus on people that's already your customer.
If you got a local black-owned restaurant, you shouldn't be trying to advertise globally,
right?
On YouTube. But I do think you can actually narrow it down on Instagram and focus in on particular zip codes and stuff like that to kind of get that going. But that's the kind of thing where I say you understand who wants your stuff. You know, again, it's not going to benefit me. Now, if I'm selling lip gloss, beard softener, or something like that, I can put that on a national level, but try to narrow it down to African Americans, this, that, and that, and all that. Brothers with, like beards or certain things. I can kind of narrow it down to drive to them, but I still don't need to drive to the masses. Because I know white people are not going to buy my product.
Right.
Or would I be putting it, in channels that can actually get to them? Makes sense.
Right. I get what you're saying.
So that's why I say you got to kind of get an idea of that. But remember those ordered steps. We got to understand what's dependent on one thing, to reach the other. You got to say, guys, listen, you got to take you some time. Because that's why I say, people quit because they'll start on a particular task, i.e. business, i.e. career, i.e. losing weight. And because they've had not necessarily the best planning, they might just call it, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat right. But it still takes a lot of discipline and planning and stuff like that, goal setting, whereas I'm 250, won't be 245, 240, 235, 230. And that may go from, month to month over a certain period of time. That's end goal all the way get down to 200 pounds. And we started here, we're going down, everything's incremental. And then you're doing a certain thing, working out 5 days a week, only eating this, that, and that during the week. Make sure I get this much cardio, make sure I get this much sleep. And if you do the summation of these each week, you'll drop to 5. Summation of that each week, you drop to 5. Summation of that. And that's how shit get done. Not, I'm just out here eating and working and doing all the kind of shit. And you kind of just, it's like the hamster in that wheel.
Right.
You just spinning. And shit ain't changing.
Right. I think on the weight part, though, because I'm guilty of this, I say I'm 210. I want to be 180. If I'm not 180 in that week, I'm done.
So we know how far long labs in the game.
If I worked out hard, no, but this is just recently I start being like this. Prior, I used to work out all the time. Every 5 days a week, 4 hours every day, I was in it. But now it's like plus finding the time. But anyway, it's like, okay, I'm 210. I want to be 180. So I start, get to working out, sweating the whole week.
You feeling 180?
Look. Still 210. This ain't working.
You feel like 180 all the way to get on that damn scale.
Right. This ain't working. I gotta do something.
Shaking that scale, checking the batteries and shit. Damn, this thing right. You call somebody else to get on the damn thing and shit. This shit ain't right.
That's the wrong scale. I like to use the one at the doctor.
Yeah.
The one at the doctor with the little scoot over. It say you weigh more than you did.
Yeah. Everybody shit, bro.
And I know I ain't doing something right. Then he started quitting. That's how it happens.
All the time.
I'm telling you.
No, and I agree. And that's a lot of times with one thing that I've been kind of struggling with the past couple of months, just being honest with you, is the book. I got pretty much everything, the ingredients, but now we're trying to get everything narrowed down. And I'm getting sidetracked with tax season, getting sidetracked with training, getting sidetracked with getting stuff together with the boys and stuff like that. So I'm being honest with people.
Right.
I think probably the only thing being realistic is I probably juggle more balls than most people. So I can be honest about that. I don't necessarily say I got too much on my plate, but it's just sometimes things may require a little bit more priority with that.
More time.
Yeah, because like right now, tax season, bread and butter. I gotta make my money.
Right.
Like I can't, you know what I'm saying?
You can't let that go.
Yeah, I'm at a funky spot right now, Lab, because we go through this every year. When tax season did, this is what a bulk of my money is made in tax season, and I want to keep some good content going out with the YouTube channel. And I was looking at the numbers from the past couple of years, just kind of my data, kind of see, okay, what did I make January 23? What did I make in January 22? What did I make January 21? It's kind of like, okay, trending wise, you know, was it going this way? Was it going here, then going there and stuff? But I always kind of seen a lot, especially mid-February to April, is this huge drop. And the drop was because business booming.
Right.
I ain't put out the content information like I should, you know what I'm saying? And being real with myself with that. But I gotta make my money. I got potential to do that to make, you know, more money with the video, but that's perspective money.
Right. This is
this was sure money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I just share that with everybody, kind of let everybody know, like, this is just not I'm talking to you, but I still deal with it also, you know, just keeping it real. And that's why I want to just talk to everybody, because even though I see things that I might not necessarily accomplish and stuff, I write it down. So these ain't just stuff that I'm just saying to run off the top of my damn head off of. These actual things I've worked on with myself personally.
I'm gonna give you another scenario that may happen. We can go back to the notes we have. That may not be necessarily quitting, but trying to get somewhere where you want to be in life. But it may not be quitting. It may be the aspect you hit on a little while ago, whereas your family maybe like me. I've been DJing for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I DJed for 40 years, and when I first started DJing, I just knew I was gonna be a superstar DJ. Yeah. But once I got married, had kids, went to college, then went back to college, then she went to college. It's always okay. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It was always a tomorrow, and then 40 years later, tomorrow has never gotten here. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it was because I was always putting off things for my wife, my family, my kids, because those were more important at the time. But it just goes to show you how I wasn't necessarily quitting. I always just kind of put it to the side for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always just put it to the side. Okay, I know I want to do this, and I need to get a little bit more new gear. I need to do a little bit more of this. I need to do a little bit more of that. You know, get some cars, maybe promote myself a little bit more. But right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm working and I'm going to school at night. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You know, I knew what the task was that I had to complete to get to where I wanted to be in life. But at the same time, I knew that I had 4 miles to feed. And at that particular time, you know, which one outweighs one? Now I say to my younger self, nothing comes before the dream. You get what I'm saying? For me, nothing comes before the dream. Damn them kids. Damn, like, if I would have kept on the track that I was going, I most likely would have been superstar DJ, but I didn't do that. So my older me telling my younger me, hey, nothing comes before the dream. Whatever you got to do to make it happen, make it happen.
Isn't it amazing when you get that 45 to 55 range and you start self-assessing yourself,
right?
And you reflect back, like, you know, you kind of like, you know, I wish I had them.
Right.
Definitely when you get older, because, you know, you got, like, you know, you always say you got less summers ahead of you, things like that.
Right.
But it's always interesting as we get older and we kind of feel like, you know, we got less in front of us than
we got less in front and more behind us.
Exactly.
Right.
And you start like, damn, man, I should have just went on and did it, especially when you start looking at the root of your sacrifices,
right?
I.e. your family, i.e. certain things, the job or whatever. They don't be as important. Not that you don't love your family,
right?
But, you know, just like any parent, when the kids grow, they're gonna do what the hell they want to do,
right?
And you said they made sacrifice and stuff like that, and you look back at now, the time gone. Like, I could have did at the same time.
Right.
I could have put more into it, but because they were the focus, it's like our stuff wasn't as important. So that's a whole show itself, man. Just keeping yourself, you know, just relevant. You know,
I just want to get that aspect of not quitting. That wasn't necessarily quitting, but it kind of was quitting because I didn't do, like we talked about earlier. I didn't do what I needed to do. I wrote the stuff down, but I didn't follow that path.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Well, I've been straight up with all my children, and I always tell them, my happiness comes first.
Right.
Your well-being is my priority.
Right.
Your well-being is my priority, but my happiness comes first. Right. And if doing something conflicts with my happiness, I ain't doing it.
Right.
I ain't doing it because at the end of the day, your happiness can't come from my happiness.
And I think a lot of us make the mistake when we get married, and we do this whole new show, but you're speaking about it. A lot of us make the mistake of thinking that our family's happiness also coincides with our happiness. We think if they're happy, we damn sure got to be.
Well, we are talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting,
right?
And a lot of times people do quit because other people's happiness and all that other kind of stuff,
right,
supersedes ours,
right?
Damn that shit,
right?
We can die, accident, stroke, heart attack. Shit, folk come in, we got the damn world and all these damn mass shooters. You ain't did shit to nobody. And what every dream and aspiration you had dies right there along with you.
Right.
Every thought, everything that you wanted to do, you said about stops right there with you.
Right.
Get that shit out of you for that day come if you can.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And it should drive you enough. Because again, we start looking at people have goals and aspirations. You really you gonna get tested. You're gonna get tested just to see, okay, how much do you really want this, man? That's why I told you.
I think especially wife and children and husbands and children are the biggest test that can be had.
Yeah.
Because who wants to step over them to get to my dream and the damn them and they dream or all they well-being? Okay, I'm gonna, like you said, I'm gonna make sure that, but everything else is about me.
Well, yeah, full transparency. I remember I needed a business loan, like about 150 grand. This about 10 years ago, whatever. And I remember I went to my ex-wife and asked her, "Hey, would you help me co-sign on it?" It'd been easy to get. She was reluctant. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very, very honest with you. I wasn't tripping. I was disappointed, but I wasn't really tripping because at the end of that was a big piece of debt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we were good or bad. That's a big chunk of debt.
Right.
To get into on some shit that
you wasn't sure about.
Well, not even sure about. She just ain't into.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
You did what I'm saying? Yeah, that was just like, okay, we both into it or whatever.
Right.
But that was Pooch's dream.
Right.
Poochie wanted to do. So I can't really sit here and trip. Like I said, I was disappointed that she didn't.
Right.
But I still understand. Like, okay, cool. Like that was a lot of shit to take on. That ain't your dream. But I go back to the point of it was my dream and I wanted to happen. So that's why I did a lot of uncomfortable stuff. And it took me a few years to put myself in a position to get those funds.
Right.
But like I said, the thing about it, when you do things like that, again, we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. Man, when you start making great accomplishment in life, man, I'm telling you, lad, it's a damn confidence you get on yourself. It's like you just bust out and feel the ass in your chest.
Right.
Like when you do stuff that just so, you know what I'm saying? I remember that SBA loan. This ain't no just idle loan. This is the real SBA loan. The damn application is damn thick. Bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. When you go through those kind of things, like I said, man, and you accomplish certain stuff, friend of mine was telling me she was getting ready to graduate from get a master's. And I did the same thing, working full time and doing that. Like that's tough.
It is tough.
That's tough. And hey man, congratulations. Because when you done that and accomplish those kind of things, you realize, man, this shit it wasn't easy at all. And so a lot of times people don't understand how difficult it is. Like, okay, man, he went to school, got his bachelor's. He went to trade school, now he became a mechanic or HVAC. That shit difficult if you already lifing, got a job, you might be coaching, you married, all family, kids and stuff like that. It's difficult. It's difficult. But at the end of the day, no matter what the hell we talk about today in regards to doing what you got to do to how to get where you want to be in life without quitting, you still got to want it bad enough. Because it's not no magic show. And a lot of times people just don't want it bad enough. Because you got to sometimes put more and more bullshit on your plate to get where you want to be. Right? And that's just part of it. People, like I said, everybody wants success, but they want to deal with the BS that come with being successful. And it's rough. It's rough. It's frightening.
And I think that's why a lot of people quit. I think the scary aspect of it makes people quit just as much too, as just the lifing part of it. I mean, when I got my master's degree, when I got my first one, I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, my bachelor's in science. And then went back and got my master's degree. It was a difficult thing. You know what I'm saying? It was difficult. It was a difficult decision even to make to go back. But I knew I wanted it bad enough because I had accomplished so much in college I feel like that was the way through. You get what I'm saying? I feel like that was the way through to get what I really wanted to be, which was DJing, to get the money I need for the funds. You get what I'm saying? Like in my mind, I had made up a whole analogy of I need to do this so I can have money to do that.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, everybody, do me a favor. In the chat right now, post something that you want to do, that you started on, something that you want to do that you started on, but you done it a couple times over the past couple years, but for some reason, time, money, family, whatever, that you keep quitting on. Post that in the chat now. If you can be full transparent, post something that you have been trying to do for the past couple years, but because of whatever circumstances, you keep quitting. You got that in. Y'all share that with me right now. And that's one thing, like I say, Lab, when you got that fork, like, look, I want to get here.
Right.
But you know, you got to do this, you got to do that. You remember Karate Kid, and Daniel's son want to get training, and he was waxing on and waxing off. And he was painting up and he was painting down.
Right.
He was painting right and he was painting left.
Right.
But all the time he was just learning different techniques.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he couldn't see that. He just was experiencing the BS.
Right.
Of what he was doing. But it was very, very difficult to actually see the finish line because of all the obstacles and hurdles. And that's life. That's life, man. And we can see people that have had successes. And some folks hit the cash thrill, Georgia lottery, and they got lucky, right? But typically those people can't do what? Sustain.
Right.
Because they really don't know. Once you have done this, over time, it's been incremental. You've been built this. You actually you can sustain it because you know what not to do to take it away. Or if something happened, you know what? The knowledge to what? Get it back. People that have not done that, that's why you see that happen. And that's why I see a lot of times people can get access to money. They open up a restaurant, it closed because a lot of times they just didn't know the side of, just didn't know what was what. I tell folks all the time, man, you really want to get in the restaurant business, you can cook good. I would say go get a couple business classes from your local community college, but also work your ass in a restaurant for 6 months.
Right.
Go to Red Lobster, go to Chili's, go to Applebee's, and go through that kind of stuff. Get cussed out. Have to take some orders back. Kind of see how it takes, from the walking in the door, getting sitting them down, getting it, greeting them, and food come out. How long it's gonna take this, that, and that? Getting back to it. Is it good? Getting them in here for so much time they leave. Next person come in. Right. That was one of the things. Part of being in grad school with supply chain. We went through that all the time. That whole premise of just your $5 lube job from the door, the dot, walk out
the door.
That's math, man. Right. Math, how that stuff goes. And I would challenge anybody, if you want to go to particular paths, kind of go through the whole little process of learning all that kind of stuff. Most people just don't want to do it because they feel like, well, I sit my ass in the bar. I know how it goes. Right. I know how to cook.
I'm the owner.
Yeah.
I don't need to be working it. I don't even know what the waitress do.
So the worst thing it is when people got money, man.
Right.
It's just something about money, man. Make people feel more intelligent than what they are. And that's unfortunate.
Right.
That's unfortunate, man. That's
a lot of time it be luck.
Yeah. Did anybody post anything?
Nobody said
I guess
has no dreams.
Nobody had nothing. Come on, y'all.
Dreams and aspirations today. Everybody has made their dreams come true.
I guess everybody got a little secretive plans. I want to be a stripper. I want to go on Pornhub. I want an OnlyFans page. I want to make money showing my toes.
Big money, big money.
They got these secretive plans.
No whammies.
I understand.
Big money, no whammies.
Who am I? Again, we were talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. I will say this, Lab. A lot of times, people make certain challenges more than what they have to be. I learned real early things ain't as difficult as they first appear. Sometimes you may get some kind of task or things you got to do, like no, but then you just stop for a second, let your emotions kind of simmer down. Let's do it. And you like it ain't that bad. You had to go through the motions, right? And I think a lot of times when people get some things pop up, they can't get past that emotional piece of it. You know what I'm saying? Trading Code says spa services. Okay, with the spa services, appreciate that Trading Code. The thing of it is, like, just doing it. Have you sat there and said Trading Code kind of work back into, work backwards from the goal?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I need to do. If I make those steps, I think a lot of times, and I appreciate you sharing that. A lot of times with most people, we have those particular things and they viable options.
Mm-hmm.
But some things may gonna take us 2 years to do.
Right.
When I share that about me doing it, taking about 2 years to get that loan, I don't think the vast majority of people would have done that. No, I really don't. I really don't.
Like me, when I went to college, I went on a grant, but all the stuff I had to do to get the grant, it's not a process that I want to go over again. You get what I'm saying? Not the grants that they were getting during the pandemic. I'm talking about, like, I had to find the grant that specifically was for me to go to this college. You know what I'm saying? So
do all the steps in that grant to
get
that money.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And then get turned down for it the first time and do it all over again. You get what I'm saying? So those are steps I just wouldn't want to repeat.
Doing a word processor,
right?
Days. You got to retype all that shit over.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I know. It went on Microsoft.
Right.
It went on Save.
Right.
No.
Right. We talking about
pre-floppy.
84, 85.
Yeah, ain't no floppy.
Right.
So you just gotta just retype all that shit over.
Mm-hmm.
And it builds something in you. And they can either be, like hesitancy, or it can be just like, okay, just assertiveness. I'm gonna go to make it happen. Either or, some action gonna be taken.
Right.
Quitting or moving forward.
Or moving forward.
And that's what we want to be avoiding with certain things, because I don't necessarily look at things being failure. Sometimes, when things are going away, you use it as a teachable moment. You got educated on it and everything. You look back, if you can be honest with yourself, I could have did more. I probably should have waited. I might need to come back to the table with a little bit more money. I might need to come back to the table with a little bit more experience or a better team or plan in place. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
If we're going to be honest with ourselves, why things don't particularly go the way we want. But I do think most of the times people just don't, they want, they want to work hard. They want things to happen. But again, when you start going through that whole BS of doing, that's what happened. And I always say this, guys, and this comes from, old track coach. When we quit, we know the result.
Right.
We slow down, we still in the fight.
Right.
We kind of get, maybe kind of just go from this way to this way. We're still in motion.
Right.
Once you quit, once you stop, it's over.
Right.
It's over. Just keep that in mind. I just think a lot of times people don't necessarily put a lot of thought in regards to that. Like, look, man, when you quit, it is over.
Right.
It is over. You got to start back from whatever and everything, as opposed to, just sometimes you need to slow it down.
What Martin said, I don't know if you remember this episode of Martin where they were at the DMV and he kept saying, you got to go back to scratch. And they kept pointing way back there. So when you quit, you got to go back to scratch.
Go back to scratch, doing it over. And that shit will wear on you. And that's what really keeps people, out of motion. Well, we're doing it. Everybody, like I said, I hear so much, man. I got to get out there plantation. I got to do this and I got to do that. Man, do you really want to do all that shit?
Right.
What I always say, like, there's some perks to the plantation.
Insurance,
PTO, shit, all that got stuff.
Vacation days, holiday pay,
breaks, lunch break,
right? 8-hour days instead of 40.
Shit, man. Hey, supervisor, you can maybe go complain to.
Right.
I ain't got none of that shit.
15-minute smoke breaks.
But I'm a bitch and complain to myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on down, make a YouTube video. Guess what, y'all? You can't do that.
Right.
Again, we're talking about how to get where you want to be in life without quitting. I think one thing I will say to people, try to get you a good tribe in place. Some people, friends that you can kind of talk to or whatever. Not necessarily co-sign on everything you do, but kind of maybe be somewhat of a cheerleader.
Help focus
you
a little bit.
Join maybe like, different support groups where y'all kind of like, not necessarily the same business, but you might be like people that actually going through that whole little entrepreneurial journey just like you to help you out and stuff. Use technology, like I say all the time, the Google alerts, Google reminders. This is where I need to be next month. Or you set yourself up. I live off my calendar, and like so, even with that goal board in my crib, that's in my office, those things are incremental. But I put certain things. Look, this I need to be doing this in February. I need to make sure I do this shit in March. This right here got to happen in April. And it's always in my face. So you see it on your calendar. Boom, it's popping up and everything like that.
Slick says she got to go. She want to take the radio, the podcast, and TV station, and all the shows to XM satellite radio.
Hell, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it for real, man.
Right.
But see, that's the thing about, like I said, it was so cool when all of us met. But I think everybody had what I noticed with all of us was together. Everybody wanted to be successful. But what started becoming apparent when what? I do that?
Right.
I want to do that? Yeah. That's the shit you got to do.
Right.
Just to get here. We even got there.
Right.
This the here shit.
Step up.
Yeah, this the here shit. We ain't went here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, man, and sometimes you like, shit. Job already straight.
Right.
I'm just going to keep part-time with this shit.
Right.
But that's the thing about it. I know potentially what Mr. Short Dollar could do.
Right.
Or even Change the Lives could do if that's all I did.
Right.
It ain't that big a thing to me right now.
Right.
But I do know with the effort I'm putting it in, I'm going to be going like this.
Right.
If I put more, I probably could go a little bit. I don't necessarily know if it go like this.
Right.
But I think it could go like this if I put a more effort in. But if I put a more effort in, that's going to take away from my anchor.
Right.
I ain't ready for that right now.
Right. Right.
You dig what I'm saying? The book come out. I want the book to do well. I got to be realistic, guy. Because when I had the children's book come out, I'm realistic about the effort I put out there to promote that book. Y'all guys don't know I got a great children's book on Amazon, Respect My Brother. The unique thing about it is a white children's book. It's done okay. I know y'all asking why I wrote the white children's book, because y'all don't reach y'all damn kids at night.
Right.
So we're not going to go there. I've said this shit at, how many of y'all read to y'all kids?
I used to read mine.
Yeah, lab.
I used to read mine every night.
I totally believe you. But out of 10 friends, what the other 9 do? Take your ass to bed.
Right.
Put that damn book up.
Right.
And again, I'm not tripping on anybody like that, but I'm just saying this. Even with that said, I understand how much effort I put in for that book to grow. I could have did some other things and stuff like that, but I'm doing this, right? Things are going to get revisited, but I got to be realistic about it now. When my book comes out, which is going to be a financial book, I got to put a lot of stuff in place to kind of make sure that the book is going to be successful.
Right.
And I got to make sure I'm on par, on key to get that done. You understand what I'm saying? So those kind of things you got to be realistic about, especially when you want to make change, you want to make anything with growth. Working back from a goal provides a systematic approach to achieving objectives and helps maintain focus and organization throughout the process. So I want everybody to understand, we started talking when you set down your aspirations for the year, set down your goals for the year, and things kind of get rough, things kind of get off. The best thing you can do is have some kind of plan set in place to help you navigate through the rough patches. We all can handle success.
Right.
We all can handle a good time. Once shit get rough, that when actually really tests us.
That shows who's the strong
survive,
right?
Hey, that's real talk.
Right there.
That's real talk, man. Like, tap in. We're 23 years in the game. I don't say that to flex. I say that to say I did the chilling circuit.
Right.
I did the chilling circuit. I did. I went through the whole rapid refund and all the other kind of stuff like that when everybody making crazy money. When you damn near claim your dog and went on computer checking,
right.
And everything. Like now, it's so much more scrutiny. AI is here. You got everybody, your mama got access. They want to get their own tax business. So it's difficult now. But because I did a lot of other things, I'm kind of in a good spot. But look what I had to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? That's what people got to be realistic about. You did reach the charter school with the books. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did. But that's the thing about it, there were some things that accomplished with certain things, but a lot of times, again, people have to be realistic about what you're trying to do and what you got to do and have in place to make sure things get to a certain spot. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. You try to go down this journey to actually improve yourself and actually make certain kind of progressions and reach certain kind of goals. Be prepared to go through the BS of life. Be prepared to do things that are gonna make you uncomfortable and everything else. Get out of that whole thought process of I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. If you were doing what you want to do, if you knew the easy way to get it, you'll have it.
Yep.
That's why nobody ain't got shit.
Right.
Because they want to do it at their leisure, the way they want to do it. But that's not how life goes. Right?
Right.
Everybody would be successful if it went off of doing what they want to do. And that's not how life happens. You're gonna have to do some shit you don't want to do to get you where you want to be.
That's
period. True. Point blank, period. I ain't telling y'all now that I don't know I ain't never done. So that's why some people see, yeah, you just sit there, you just smoke cigars and drink liquor. Yeah, because when I work, I work. You know, real talk.
You
real talk.
20, so you can do that 2 hours of leisure.
Yeah, shit, man.
You don't want to do that 2 hours a week.
Man, you can imagine, man, so many times people say, well, look, man, you got to give yourself a break. I mean, I do. I pay for see my pace is a different pace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I might, it may seem like I'm doing a lot, but I just might take a couple more steps when I'm working. But when I'm down, I'm down. When I'm chilling, I'm chilling.
Right.
And I just think that people just have to be realistic about what they're trying to do and what they got, because you hit that fork of I hate this, whatever, and everything, but with that fear of not accomplishing, of not trying, got to be greater than your fear of just leaving it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, just going and doing something different is very frightening. Very, very, it can make you Thanks for calling Change Your Lives. Thanks for calling Change Your Lives. Who am I speaking with? Hello? Did I answer that?
Yeah, you answered.
I might have hung him up. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Hi, this is Tree Nicole. I was calling. I have a question.
Sure.
What would be your best advice for someone who wants to get to where they want to be without quitting when, let's say, like when those hurdles come or those stumbling blocks, i.e. when life starts lifing, health, finances, resources, things of that nature?
Okay. Well, the question is, what would be the advice in regard to somebody trying to get where they want to be in life without quitting when different hurdles or stumbling blocks, health, resources, and things like that come up? The first thing I would say, do, just like you write down all the goals that you want to do, the things you want to accomplish, make a list of all the potential setbacks, health, job, money, family. Make a list of those. And then write down how you would handle that situation. Write down 2 or 3 things you would do to handle that situation. See, what happens is, it's not if something gonna happen, it's when something happen. And you prepare. That's the whole reason you think about it. You be at a job. What does a job do all the time out of the damn blue that nobody ready for? A fire drill, right? They do fire drills not because they got a fire. They get on a fire drill to prepare just in case there is a fire, right? When what was it, twice a year, you get the what the hell is that? The emergency network, whatever. They hit the bomb. They checking everything just in case something happens, right? You have to see. We're in a world now where we have terrorist threats. They have to practice that. So you got the first thing is list potential things that can happen. You're not being negative. You're not being wrong. But just do that. If I get sick, how would I ever be able to do this? Right? Because you could get, if you got a business that's you myself, for example. Like, most of the stuff I do independently. I may have outsourced certain tasks, but if Deonte gets sick, Deonte can't do it. How do I plan it? I might have to say, well, listen, if just in case I get sick, I may say, listen, reach out to a client. Listen, can't give me 48 hours, 72 hours. I need to get past that. Or just say, listen, I got a person that I can refer you to that's going to do it. I call that person and say, listen, man, if I can't do these taxes or whatever, I'm gonna send these people to you. This the rate I'll pay you. Are you cool with that? You have those contingent plans set up. Identify the possible threats. That's it. Like, when we do, and you got a basic business plan. You got your SWOT analysis, right? The SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, objectives, opportunities, and threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you look at those threats, right? You look at those threats, and it's not to avoid it. you listen them down, and potentially write 2 or 3 things you can do just in case those things happen. That makes sense. So if it does happen, the impact is not as strong because you already got some kind of plan in place. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Gotcha.
Okay, cool. Did I help you out a little bit?
Thank you.
They help you out a little bit.
It did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You quite welcome. Appreciate you calling in. That's one of $200 an hour answers.
Right.
Appreciate you calling in, Trading Code. But yeah, man, those kind of things when we start talking about that, lab, life be life.
Mm-hmm.
And again, man, I get excited when I hear people say they want to go down the road of entrepreneurship, they want to do different things in life, because I know when I did it, it was so frightening, and I didn't have hate, but I definitely didn't have a lot of OGs. I didn't have a lot of examples or different like that. You know what I'm saying? I just had it, whatever. And what I found was what was funny, the more I started progressing and doing well, the more it's like the damn little support I had was still disappearing.
Right.
And then so I had to go through that whole thought process of how bad I want stuff. It's funny. It's funny. Like I said, I haven't seen that, like, even just being married, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I see my wife kind of like, shit, I ain't signed up for this shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I get it.
Right.
I get it, because that wasn't something that was thought of
before. Right.
But then you get that entrepreneur bug, and it's whatever. It's just like if you sitting there saying you get good at your job, you say, "Man, hey man, baby, they're finna give me a supervisor position."
Right.
This, that, and that. Oh, cool, that's good. But a supervisor position changes you from a 40-hour person a week to a 60-hour person a week. Shit, you missing games. You coming home late. Where the hell you been?
Right.
Then you come home, you tired and sleeping, stressing, and everything like that. But they didn't sign up for that shit.
Right.
Right. And so you got to be realistic about certain things, what you're trying to do, and the impact. And at the end of the day, if you still want it, you got to aspire to do it. Damn that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna have some collateral damage. You know,
right?
You know, and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I would tell people, you ain't got number one you. I just got one pooch, and I got to make sure Poochie happy as possible.
Right.
Like I said before, my boy Willie came in. I don't know if Willie's still in. I stole that from Willie. my happiness comes from Willie. Called me today, man. I appreciate my dog Willie now from BMU, man. Willie called me today, check on me. I told him I stole that shit from his ass then. I told him that today. My happiness comes first.
Okay.
My well-being is a priority.
Right.
But my happiness comes first.
Okay.
And I think that was some cool shit to live by.
Right.
And everything. So I want everybody to make that a mainstay in their life. Your happiness comes first. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Just plan for the bullshit. Don't just, I ain't gonna think about it. I ain't gonna hurry. I ain't gonna worry about it. I ain't gonna be negative. Shit happens.
It happens.
Right? Shit happens.
It happens.
Right. And the more you prepare for the SHIT, the better you'll be okay. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's gonna happen, right? And I think that, that far too often we start trying to avoid stuff and just act like it's not gonna happen. That's when
that's
put
when
ourselves
worse.
Exactly. We put ourselves in bad positions. So I love the conversation tonight and everything. Appreciate the caller calling in. Appreciate everybody tuning in with the chat. Guys, if you just came in the middle of it, came in late, make sure you go to Change Your Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. You can check out the video in its whole entirety, and also check out all the videos that we do have on the channel. If you came in late, also you can leave in the put stuff in the comments. Got a question, anything you want to add? I promise you, as always, within probably 24, 48 hours, I will respond to your question or comment that you may leave on the post or everything. Yeah, hell, that could be on Facebook, YouTube, or whatever. I still come back and do it. But I do want to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all the love, support, and everything. And check us out next week on Mr. Short Dollar. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Also hitting the bell to get a notification each time we upload a new video. Appreciate the conversations. Be safe out there. Take care, and I will talk with you soon.